Hey guys, Durante here with the Expert Process. Wanted to share another idea with you guys. This one is turning setbacks into fuel. Turning setbacks into fuel. Now, let's think about what that means. So we all go through setbacks in life, right? It may be something traumatic. It may be something less traumatic. It may be something that is expected. It may be something that's not expected. But we all go through setbacks. We all have these things that we experience that are, that take us off our path. And it's just something we have to deal with. But the fact is, how we deal with it is going to determine a lot of our immediate success, our immediate failures, our long-term success, long-term failures. Again, I'm not telling you anything you don't know with any of that. But here's the thing I want you to think about, right? Is how do we turn those setbacks around? Now, I personally have experienced quite a few setbacks in my life, whether it's loss. I lost my mother at a young age. I lost my wife / ex-wife. We were literally just divorced for a few days before she passed away. I became a single father literally overnight. I've gone through bankruptcy. I've gone through foreclosure with the with the recession and all that stuff. I went from making a lot of money to making a little amount of money. I've seen it all, man. And I can say these things because perhaps maybe that's a little too transparent for a lot of people. But the irony of it is, the way I see it is my story is one that can inspire you. I don't claim to be anything big or any big celebrity or anything like that, but I do know I've had a lot of successes in my life, but I've also had a lot of failures. I'm what you would call a serial entrepreneur. I've started companies that have been successful. I've started others that haven't been successful. I have started ventures with other people that worked out well and ventures with others that did not work out so well. I made a lot of money and I've lost a lot of money. I made some really terrific decisions and I made some decisions that cost me, So, but that is what being in business is, right? Hopefully you learn from your mistakes. But the thing I want to stress is how do we use those setbacks and turn those into fuel? Now, I'll use myself as an example. So when I went through some of these major struggles in my life, most of the time it takes a while to regain your footing, right? Most of the times it takes, months, perhaps even years, honestly, to get back to where you were, simply because you have to figure it out. You may have to make new relationships. You may have to, move into a new industry, learn some new skills. I've had to do all those sorts of things. There's a book called Who Moved My Cheese, right? And basically what that means is what you're accustomed to doing, what you're used to doing may not work. The dynamics of these industries are shifting day to day, month to month, and year to year. So what has always worked for you may not work. And you have to realize that, your safe, cushy, comfortable job that so well for the past 15, 20, 30 years, it may change on you and you have to do something else. You have to do something new. Maybe, you're in, the production industry, you're in the car manufacturing industry or the manufacturing industry or something like that. And that industry changes because of automation, because of robotics, because of AI technology. All these things happen. And so we have to come to learn, how do we address that? How do we make that adjustment, right? So that we can still be successful and still, realize the dreams and realize the success that we want. And so one of the things that I try to tell folks on a very consistent and regular basis is the old paradigm in how you once was educated, meaning you would go to, obviously you go to a school, secondary, but then you leave and you go to college, you get your master's, you get your PhD, your JD, or, whatever the degree. Well, that paradigm has changed. And now much of the training is actually online. Even colleges and universities are pushing online training now. And ironically, as I'm giving this short video, we are in the midst of the coronavirus scare, and colleges are shutting down right and left. Colleges and universities are taking precaution, and even schools, local schools, are taking precautions and shutting down right and left. And what they're doing is they're promoting their online tools and their online classes, right? So they're doing that out of necessity. But the market itself is shifting. The market for education has shifted so much so that online resources, online educational tools, online classes, these big online schools that you can learn from, like Udacity and Udemy and all these others, they have become so popular. They're now multi-billion-dollar industries, right? And the biggest irony to me is to understand the value that they can offer you. So let me put that in perspective. Let's say, for example, you are good at Photoshop, or you're good at, you're good at some sort of audio tool, audio program, right? But you're not proficient enough to be a professional. Or let's say you're good with coding, but you're not good enough to be a professional at it. In other words, to make money consistently. Well, that's exactly what these online programs offer, these online schools offer. You can go and get a certification for now $200 or $300 that might have cost you, $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 as recently as 4 or 5 years ago, right? You can learn a new skill set that now you can take and actually make legitimate money. You can make $60,000 or $70,000 or $80,000 from a new skill set that costs you $500 or less. Some of these classes are only $10 per class, and people are seeing overwhelming, phenomenal success at it. And so I think it's really more about the mindset, right? It's about what we look for and what we think about, and adjusting our mindset to understand the new paradigm and the new dynamics behind the education that we're getting. Now, how does that jive or fit in with turning your setback into your motivation or your fuel, right? Basically, it's this. Setbacks, we can't help them. Well, sometimes you can, actually. Maybe you made a poor decision. But you can't let that stop you and keep you from progressing and moving forward, right? I would encourage you to look at your setback as nothing more than a stepping stone, right? I always say it's the difference in people that are successful and the ones that aren't, or mostly, is that the ones that are successful understand that those mistakes that they made can't and should not bound you to your past. A good example is, and this is just an analogy, it is a basketball player who's in a game, it's a tight game, and the player goes up and makes a shot and blows it. Well, it might be a game-tying shot, but he blows it, and they're down to the last few seconds of the game. Well, is he gonna be afraid to take that next shot because he just blew the last one? Or is he gonna have a short-term memory that allows him to get over it, get over the failure and disappointment, and have the courage to take that next shot that may be the game-winning shot, right? So, or the football player, let's say the quarterback who's not having a great game, who's thrown for 2 interceptions. The game is tight. They're down by, I don't know, a point or 2 or 5, right? But they need a score. But the play that's drawn up is yet another pass play. And the quarterback knows the percentage is high that he may just throw another interception. Does he allow that to prevent him from doing what he needs to do to win the game? Most likely not. And that's the attitude that we have to have in our professional lives, in our personal lives, is we have to realize that, you know what, that thing that's holding us back is in the past. Use it as a stepping stone. Learn from it. Study whatever that thing was that set us back or that set you back and learn from it. You know, I mean, okay, let's say you made a mistake that cost you jail time, right? Let's say you made a mistake that cost you your marriage. Let's say you made a mistake that cost you your business. Let's say you made a mistake that cost you your financial security. Those things happen. But those things can also be used as tools, as stepping stones to learn, to get better, to improve ourselves, to improve our business acumen, to improve our relationships. Those are the things that if you change your mindset, if you change how you view it, how you look at it, then you can realize success that maybe had been eluding you simply because either you haven't thought about it, you didn't want to think about it, or no one's ever brought it to your attention. And that's what this is about. It's about taking those past failures and using those things as fuel to get to that next thing. Use that as your motivation. Use it as a driver. If, for example, your marriage didn't work out, guess what? Change your behavior. If it was you, change your behavior and do better, right? And then try to be a better man in your next marriage. If by chance you were the one always giving and you got taken advantage of, and well, then change your behavior. Learn from that, right? If by chance you got into business with someone and they made bad decisions, or you made bad decisions, or it was a risky proposition from the start, learn from that. Don't go in business with someone else. Or if you do, then take the necessary precautions to protect yourself. The point is to learn from it, right? Use that as fuel and motivation to get you to your next thing, to your next level of success. And understand, it takes time, man. Now, I'm not here to lie to you and tell you you can do these things overnight, because it's not done like that. Most things take time. If, for example, you go through a bankruptcy, it takes 10 years to come off your credit. Now, can you get other things within that time? Certainly. But the bankruptcy itself takes actually 10 years to come off your credit. Now, you can rebuild your credit within that time, and I would encourage you to do so and use the techniques that are necessary to do that. But the bankruptcy itself will take that amount of time to come off. As long as you know that, then you can be prepared and you can prepare yourself for that. Anyway, this was just a thought I wanted to share with you guys. I want to let you know to be encouraged, keep doing what you're doing. And by the way, click the link below to subscribe. All your subscriptions and your shares and your likes and your comments are always appreciated. Go and check out theexpertprocess.com. That's the website with the webinar that gives you a lot of information. Also has the masterclass, which will be launching soon. It still hasn't launched yet, but it will be launching soon. I'll bring you guys up for that. And also you can check out the business page, or fan page rather, on Facebook at The Expert Process. We're on pretty much all social media at The Expert Process. And thank you guys so much. All right, I'm out.